especially my age, when people are starting in their late 40s, early 50s, and they're seeing their parents who didn't take care of themselves, who didn't strength train, and now they're weak, they're feeble. We're now the caretakers for them. It's starting to hit home going, I don't want to be like that.
Hmm.
I don't want to place that burden on my kids. So how do I not end up like that? How do I end up not wheelchair bound? How do I end up where I can still get around and drive a car and take myself to the grocery store or to church or wherever you want to go? Well, I'm going to tell you it starts.
Welcome back to Real Women, Real Results. I'm your host, Jamie Revelle, and today we are diving back into part 2 of our episode with Coach Corey talking about fitness, fat loss, cardio, and strength training, and where we're going to answer the rest of our questions and build the best workout routine for your fat loss goals. So let's get into it. What changes do you see in women who add strength training to their routine after focusing on cardio for so long? Or maybe it's not adding, maybe it's listening to you and they decide, okay, let me give up some of that crazy cardio and come to the strength training side. And then vice versa on the cardio side. And I don't see this as often, but what transformation do you see when women learn to do it the right way without feeling like they have to crush themselves every session?
With regards to the strength training, going from the cardio, all cardio, 5, 6 days a week of cardio, just getting blasted to now doing strength training. They feel there's something to be said for feeling strong. And that happens, in a matter of weeks, right? They start lifting weights and doing things that they didn't even think that they could do. And so then they start to see being a little bit toned, which is also very motivating as well. And then you start to see the numbers change on the scale, or more importantly, on the Amaron, on the body fat. And now that's even more motivating. And so incorporating strength training, I always say strength training will make you better at cardio, but cardio will not make you better at strength training,
That's a great point.
right?
Yeah.
And so now they have, more toned legs and better leg strength, which means if they are doing sled pushes, they're going to be able to do more effort on the sled pushes. Or if they're doing power skips on a step, they can get 2, 3 inches higher on it. And all of this is going to help when they do their cardio. They have a tighter core. So when you give them planks and things like that, everything just becomes better and more enjoyable in the cardio. So when you incorporate strength training, it just makes things better if you do love that style of cardio. But for people that only do strength training, I have women that'll start here and they'll go, "Do you think I'm ready to try the cardio?" And somehow in their head, it was like, "We got to smash you every single time you step into cardio." And it's like, that's not it at all. Listen to your body. We want to do cardio conditioning, and that's going to be different for every single person. And a lot of videos I see when that people get into HIIT training, they're actually not even doing HIIT training. The interval timing isn't right, or you know what I mean? Or somebody that's 65 years old is trying to keep up with the, 20 something year old, and the 24-year-old coach is the one that designed it. And like, you shouldn't feel nauseous at the end of your cardio workout.
Yeah.
So there's an intelligent way of doing both sides of it, and they should complement one another, not conflict with one another.
What are those true intervals of HIIT? Yeah, I think everyone thinks any type of cardio interval training is HIIT training, like any type of circuit, and that's just not the case. And I think that most people don't do and won't do true HIIT training because they're not willing to put the max effort in, even in short bursts. And they're also not willing to rest. Like, God forbid we rest for 1 minute, you
Right.
know?
Yeah.
And so, that's how our programming has changed over time. It just feels people feel like they're standing around, and it's like, but if you put the effort into the work time, the
Hmm.
rest time needs to be there.
Yeah.
Like, you will feel like you need it. So,
Yeah.
what are those true HIIT intervals?
Yeah, so high intensity interval training is what we're going for. Okay. And so we can look at that whether we use a MyZone heart rate monitor, or if you use an assault bike, something like that, where we can actually see work output. That's really the only way of truly seeing whether or not you are hit, if you are getting that high intensity. But then it has to be interval training. It has to come down. It has to fully recover to a certain point, right? So we want to go 10, 20 seconds, 30 seconds tops, because that's when your glycogen stores are completely used up, right? There is no 1 minute of hit interval. Like you gassed out at 25 seconds. So psychologically, come the second round, you're lowering your intensity level because you know you need to maintain that for a period of time. So you're doing steady state, medium intensity, maybe slightly interval training. I don't know what all of those letters spell out, but it's
Right.
it's probably CRAP. It's not worth doing. So high intensity, 20 seconds. And then if you look at say take Usain Bolt, right? Usain Bolt runs a 100-meter dash in under 10 seconds. Fastest man on planet. He'll then rest for 5 minutes before starting anything else because he needs to fully recover. It doesn't do him any good to only be partially recovered and start sprinting again. It changes his mechanics, it puts him at risk for injury. So when I say HIIT training, I'll often say to my members, I want you to think that your kid is standing in the middle of traffic and you need to go get them before he gets hit by a car. You will be at 100%. That is high intensity. Okay. Now, once you grab the kid, do you want to do it again anytime soon? No, you need to recover. You got to catch your breath. So you got to recover. It might be a minute, it might be 2 minutes in true interval training. Now, do you have to wait around? No, I could recover with some mobility movements. I'm still benefiting my body. I could recover by doing, a plank. I could recover, although for me, planks can be considered high intensity. But so in programming, it doesn't have to be rest for 2 minutes. We could be doing, a stretch. We could be doing 90-90s and improving our hip mobility or thoracic spine, shoulders. We could do all kinds of other stuff while we are letting our cardiorespiratory system recover.
Hmm. Yeah, that's something that I've been playing with too, is changing some of our programming to be a little bit more of exactly what you're talking about, like true HIIT training, but with mobility.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
yeah.
if you're going to put in the work for cardio and you want to do HIIT cardio, go all out, right? If you want to do mid-level cardio, then set the treadmill at a certain degree of incline or get on a, step mill and set it at a medium pace where if you're not wearing a heart rate, we're looking at rate of perceived exertion level where you might be able to have a conversation with somebody and you're taking small breaths in that sentence. That would be more medium, right? If you do high intensity after that full and somebody comes up to you and says, "How's it going?" You're like, you really it's tough to speak. So I can look as a coach at everybody in the room and the member that's sitting there like, right, I know they gave it all. If you're done and you're immediately chatting with your partner, then was that 100% effort? Was that even 80% effort? Probably not.
Hmm.
So now, is steady state cardio bad? No, I highly recommend it, especially to people that maybe they didn't get a good night's sleep, they're stressed, they were in a really long commute, they just had an argument with their spouse or their boss. High intensity interval training probably not the best thing for you right there. Right? Your nervous system is already jacked up. Why do I want to jack it up more? That would be like put on a podcast, go for a walk, stay in that zone 2. If you got a my zone, stay in the blue and you're good to go. Like you have to choose the right cardio for you. If I didn't get a good night's sleep and I was up early and got bombarded with all of this work and now I'm long commute back to the gym and I'm stressed out and I'm already 2 minutes late and then my coach was like, "Come on, you're always late." And like, so now my anxiety is up, my stress is up, and now I'm doing HIIT. Like, that's not good for my body. I am actually going to retain more fat because of that.
Hmm. So just be smart about it.
So you got to pick the right cardio for you. And
Yeah.
if you don't have time, if you don't have a full hour, do 20 minutes.
Hmm.
Do 10 minutes.
Yeah. Just move.
Just move.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think having various tools in your toolkit is important, right?
Right.
Because there are going to be days where you're feeling really great and those HIIT workouts might be awesome. And then those days where you have to pivot because you are really stressed, it would be most beneficial to
Mhm.
understand like what do you do on those days?
Yeah. Sometimes that hit workout is stress relieving to people, right? If you, especially if it's like med ball slams and you're like, my boss's face, and you're just, okay, I get it, but pick the right cardio for you. And I'll tell you this much, it's not every day. Move every day, sweat every day, but you do not need to jack that heart rate up to to the red zone every single day.
Right. Something that just came to mind, and I just have a couple more questions to wrap it up. But what do you say to people who do strength and cardio on the same day?
That's
I know.
that happens a lot, and this is one of those again that in the I don't even know when it was. I guess it was probably in the '90s, mid '90s, where people were the strength trainers were like, "Wow, we really probably should be doing some cardio. So let's just tack it on to the end because I'm doing strength training every day. So when am I getting my cardio in? I'm already at the gym. Let me just get on the treadmill and do my cardio." So strength days should be strength days. Your body is in an anaerobic phase during that. Cardio days should be cardio days. It is in an aerobic phase during that. If you are doing them on the same day, have them be 12 hours apart. So do your, long work or I have people that are like, I'm going to go away for a vacation. So I got to get it all in this week. Okay. Well, if that's the way that you're going to do it, then you're going to do this in the morning. And then 8 hours later, you're going to do this in the
Hmm.
evening. But you need time for your body to recover, adjust, adapt. And especially if you're doing the strength training, you don't want to have your body go from being anaerobic, building muscle, to aerobic, burning fat. It'll do one or the other. It will not do them both at the same time. So
Hmm.
you don't want to cut the benefits of the anabolic workout, your strength training, and have that toggle switch flip to cardio.
Right.
You want to make sure that you have enough time to reap the rewards of that effort you just put forth in that strength training program.
Yeah. And would you say, or is it fair to say that if, so I'm thinking specifically of my members at my Berwyn gym, not as much as Elmhurst, because we really keep our days separate.
Hmm.
But my members at Berwyn, I see sometimes they'll do a semi private strength training session and then jump into Zumba for 30 minutes to an hour. And I'm like,
Yeah.
and sure, you guys are getting all the MEPs in the world, but is it fair to say that they're negating what they just earned or
Yes.
gained
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
strength training? Yeah.
Matter of fact, they're not even allowing themselves to gain it
Mhm.
because remember, true strength is done in the recovery,
Yep.
right? And
Mhm.
so they're not allowing that. They are cutting short that anabolic signaling.
Yep.
They're stopping it. They're saying, put a hard stop. Parking brake is on. We are now switching vehicles. We're going to go over here to the super fast car
So
and
what would you tell them? Stop
go
it?
go find a hobby.
Oh gosh.
Like, go read a book. Go sit with your friend and have a protein shake
And foam roll.
and foam roll and all of those things. If it was a yoga session afterwards, go do that. Go stretch, go spend a half an hour with your friends, go get a protein shake, go do that. But you don't need to go into a Zumba. If you wanted to walk down the street and walk back, that is low intensity, steady state cardio. I'm even okay with that. But jumping into something that's high intensity afterwards, just to cure the thought in your head that this is probably beneficial, I'm here to tell you the science disagrees with you.
Mhm. And, like, inhibit your long-term fat loss goals,
Of course,
right?
of course. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So, if a listener is sitting here wondering how to balance both, what's a simple weekly approach that you would recommend? Like, how many strength training sessions versus cardio? And I think your number one thing you're going to say is it depends on availability.
Yeah, that's the
So,
answer to all the great coach Dan John answered every question with, "It depends." And so I'm gonna steal that, "It depends." I say, "How many days a week do you realistically," and remind me because I have something to add on to this that once my brain goes, I may forget, but if how many days a week do you have to work out? Great. Is it 2 days a week of strength training? Is it 3 days a week of strength training, or maybe 2 days of strength training and 1 day of cardio, depending on, are you getting in cardio? If you're not getting in any cardio, you still have to get in lung and heart health, period. If you're already doing, "Oh, I take my dog for a walk for 30 minutes every single morning," great, then 3 days a week of strength training because you're getting your steady state cardio. You are getting your heart and lung healthy. If you have 4 days, 3 strength training, 1 day of cardio. If you have 5 days, 3 strength training, 2 days of cardio. If you have 6 days, 3 days and 1 strength training. If you have 7 days and you wanna work out every single day because you say, "If I take 1 day off, that might be the snowball effect that I now take more than 1 day off." Throw yoga in there. Go get a massage. Focus on recovery on that final day. It does not have to be an ass kicking workout.
mhm, yeah, absolutely. So, long story short, make strength training your priority. Get
Yes.
in cardio. If you're limited in schedule, get in cardio where you can. Increase just daily activity. Get up and walk a little bit more. And if you can add more than 3 days and you've got the time to add a fourth or fifth day, then yes, then you add in like really strong cardio workouts. But if you absolutely can't, then just move. Get up
Mhm.
and move. Hit your step goal, right?
Yeah.
7,500 to 10,000 steps minimum every day and you'll be good to go. And just if you're looking for fat loss, make sure you're eating in a caloric deficit, getting in your protein, and getting in your sleep outside of your strength training.
Right. Yeah.
Got
I
it.
mean, heart disease kills more people than any other contributor to death in America. So we have to have some element of emphasis on cardio. We do.
Mhm.
I mean, we have to do it. And now with technology, it's estimated that a lot of people are going to live well into their 80s, 90s, and this younger generation may even average into the hundreds. So, what is going to be the quality of our life? So, I'm now getting into this push of, can you afford not to have the time? Right? So, you have to strength train. Great, put it in there 2 to 3 days a week. You have to. It's like if you stop brushing your teeth are going to fall out. It's the same thing with your heart, your lungs, and your muscles. So you have to find the time to do this because you're going to live to be 80 years old. What do you want your life to look like then? Do you want to be able to move? Do you want to be self sufficient? Do you want to be able to take care of yourself? Do you want to be independent? Or do you want to have somebody have to take care of you, drive you around because you have a walker, you can't get in and out of the car, you can't go up and down the stairs, you got to, go into a nursing home. You have to stop with the excuses and make your health a priority. So that is going to be proper nutrition, like we talked about, proper supplementation. That's going to be proper strength training. You got to get in the 2 to 3 days a week, every single week, whether you like it or not. And you got to get in the proper cardio training.
Mhm. Done. Easy.
It's
Well,
not easy,
no, I know.
but you have to do it. You're just gonna have to do it. And I think, especially my age, when people are starting it in their late 40s, early 50s, and they're seeing their parents who didn't take care of themselves, who didn't strength train, and now they're weak, they're feeble. We're now the caretakers for them. It's starting to hit home going, I don't want to be like that.
Mhm.
I don't want to place that burden on my kids. So how do I not end up like that? How do I end up not wheelchair bound? How do I end up where I can still get around and drive a car and take myself to the grocery store or to church or wherever you want to go? Well, I'm going to tell you it starts now and it's going to incorporate all of the proper things that you need for lifestyle change, health, wellness, and yeah, and it just you have to do it.
Yeah. And it's never too late to start.
It's never too late to start. It's never too late to start. I
Yeah.
mean, it is. I mean, at a certain point, you sit there and go, well, I mean, you'll get to the point where it's just maintaining. You're going to stop the decline, but like, you don't want to start this when you're 94 years old.
Yeah. Okay. True. Thank you for that. Well, I guess that's all the questions that I have. Usually I end with, as a strong woman, what does that mean to you in this area of your life? But I'll spare you that question. So,
I work with tons of strong women. And I've been training for 28 years. I got started at 19 years old in a big commercial gym where there was no I mean, it was group exercise and or aerobics. We didn't even call it group exercise at the time. That was a term that was created in the late 90s. It was aerobics and men lifted weights. And then we had a women's section where we put dumbbells in that didn't go past 20s. And now I have women coming in and they go, I want to get strong. And
Mhm.
it makes me so happy to hear that has shifted and that they're not afraid to lift heavy weights and they really feel empowered by how their body is changing, how strong they are, how they can do things that they never thought were even possible. And so I love seeing it. I love working with strong women, empowered women that are learning more, not just about themselves and their body, but about health and wellness and fitness and all the amazing things that encompass all of those things.
Well, thank you for all of your knowledge and for sharing it in a way that's easy to understand and breaking down really every part of it. And I really think that people who listen to this are going to be very enlightened and hopefully reinvigorated with their quest to be stronger because hopefully they understand now more of the science and the back end information, but also that they seek out good cardio that makes sense for them and what their goals are so that they do take care of their heart and lung health and they've got the endurance and that assistance in their longevity and quest to live a longer and stronger life. So,
And I'll
thank
say
you.
this, if there's a lot of confusing, there's a lot of contradicting information out there. So if you are wanting to live a healthier lifestyle and you want to make change, but you're just not sure exactly what is the best way or the best change for you, please reach out to one of the coaches and seek that advice because that's what they're there for. They're there to really help you with your fitness journey, and your fitness journey is different than someone else's fitness journey is different than someone else's fitness journey. So let's get one that is in a plan that's right for you, that works within your lifestyle, that is achievable, and that is maintainable and sustainable long term.
Absolutely. Great advice. Thank you for that. And if you are listening to this episode and you know someone who would benefit from the information, please share it with them. It's not just for our members, but it's for our network and anyone who would benefit. So, here's my challenge for you this week. Look at your routine and ask yourself, are you balancing strength and cardio in a way that supports your goals? And if not, what's one small change that you can make right now? As always, if you're looking for guidance and accountability, come check us out at W3 Body with our 4-week trial. We'd love to help you find that balance. You can check out our Instagram for our Elmhurst location, W3 Body _ Elmhurst, our Berwyn location, W3 Body _ Berwyn, or check out our 4-week trial at train@w3body.com. Thanks for tuning in to Real Women, Real Results. If you loved this episode, be sure to follow the podcast and leave a review. It helps more women find these powerful stories. If you're local and want to join our gym, check out our 4-week trial. Head to train@w3body.com for more info. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram, W3Body _ Berwyn and W3Body _ Elmhurst for more strength, support, and community. See you next time.